this is probably one of the most important videos I could make, because if there is anything that I could tell you right now, it's that your desire does not abandon you. It is there for you. God does not abandon you. God brings you your desire instantaneously. God gives you your desire, whatever you ask for. But if we are hung up on how to get it, and we're looking at every kind of hack and technique and video and anything else that is promising, do this and do that and try this and here's a hack, and we're curious so we try it, or we're doubtful, well, maybe this will do it. But to do that is actually to forget about your desire and get more caught up in the damn hack, making the hack into what Neville would have called a secondary cause. A secondary cause is something that you believe is outside there, outside of you, that can act like a divine figure. It's what's sometimes called a false Jesus. It's making something else into a divine being, into God. But truly that would be a duality, and there is really only the one. There's really only God. I and my Father are one, and my Father is greater. That's it. There isn't anything else. So if you're thinking that the hack is the thing, it's not. You are the operator of the technique. You are employing a tool. It's like any contractor who has their toolkit. Okay, a plumber, a builder, whoever it is, they have a toolkit, and they use the tools to support what they are doing. And it's the same thing here. In manifesting, we are using whatever tools that maybe Neville Goddard taught us about, revision, or a congratulatory conversation, or anything else that he spoke about that would help us get deeper into our own imagination. This is why he had these tools. That's all it is. Or imagining bigger, or any of that. It was simply that he was saying, if you apply that in your mind, you will have your desire more easily. You won't be getting in your own way. But because your desire is already there. It's already in you. From the second you had it you imagined it. You decided that it was something you wanted to bring into your experience. But if you wanted it, it was like you believed you didn't have it. And that, in a sense, is a metaphysical impossibility. You have all of it. And yet, if we're thinking we want it, or we lack it, we don't have it, we then go looking for the thing that's going to bring it to us. But the only thing that can really bring it to you is to walk away from it, meaning you are not going to be attached to it, because you're living from a place of knowing you are it, or you have it right away, now, immediately, even faster than immediately. And it's that simple. And it's feeling that it's yours and nothing can take it from you. It's yours. It's part of the very fabric of your being. So looking around or doubting your ability to manifest it is only complicating things for yourself. It really is just making things more difficult. Anytime you imagine something being difficult, then it will be, because you're imagining it. Anytime you doubt that you can have it because of your other whatever tendency, like, oh, it would just be my luck that it doesn't come, because you have this idea about yourself that you don't have the ability to pull this off. But there's no reason why you can't. There is nothing in any book written about manifesting or consciousness or higher mind, new thought, whatever category you want to talk about it. There's nothing in that allows for doubting or perceiving yourself as lacking. There's no lack in God. This is perfect. That is perfect. If you take away the perfect from the perfect remains. The only thing that God is lacking is lack. Only thing God lacks is lack. The only thing you lack is lack. But you keep thinking you actually are lacking something or missing something. Believe me, you have everything it takes to bring your desire into your life. But truly, it takes being able to, like training a dog, you say to the dog, sit, and you give it the command to sit, and you've been working with the dog for a while, and even though the dog is kind of like wiggling around a little bit and kind of whimpering a little bit at first, after a while you can train that dog so that it's going to sit there with extremely obedient, quiet strength, just sit there. It's totally unruffled. And you, as the caregiver of the dog, the owner of the dog, you can walk away. You walk 10 feet away, 20 feet away. You go out the door and the dog will sit there because now it's been trained. And that's the same thing with understanding your desire, that it's like that. It's yours and it's there. Now you have to, in order for it to physically arrive in your life, and I know that the dog analogy is a little, it's sort of playing with that idea. It's the idea that you can walk away from it comfortably without worrying that it's going to make a mess or be gone because you walked away from it. But you have to be able to turn your back on it and say, I am just as okay whether I have it or whether I don't have it, because I am the possessor of this thing. Whether it's a small thing or a big thing, doesn't matter. It might be a beautiful new outfit. It might be, it could be a brand new dishwasher, state-of-the-art dishwasher. It could be a trip around the world. Whatever it is, you have it. There is no way you cannot have it. You must let it arrive there and be able to turn your back on it with total equanimity. That means even-mindedness. Even-mindedness is the same thing. It just means you're unbothered. You're in a neutral position of not adding meaning to not having it, of not upsetting anything. And in that sense, you are not the dog that might be crying and whimpering and running all over because their owner walked away. You're okay. You're not reacting. And you're going to say, well, which am I, the master and the dog? You're both. You're both the owner of the dog and the parent of the dog and the dog. You can be both. God is both, playing that role. The bringer of the desire and the desire itself. Who do you want to level up to be? God plays that role and the part that role is related to. Maybe it's a promotion. God is that new position. And you being the one who has the position. In Hinduism, there's a saying, there is nothing that is not Shiva. Shiva was the god of destruction of the trinity of Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. Creation, sustaining, and destruction. And Shiva was a destroyer of the ego. And it was said, there is nothing that is not Shiva. And it's the same thing. There is nothing that is not God. It's all God. It's all the play of God, of the divine, of consciousness. To bring you this, to show you that you are this, to bring any supporting players into your life to show you that. They're either going to reflect that quality in you, or they are going to in some way trigger or be a catalyst for you to see that. So the idea that you are anything other than that, or undeserving of it, or simply being, living through what you always show up as. No, you have it. You become different in having it. So if there's doubts, if there's worries, fears that arise, those are only trying to keep you in a limited space. They're boxing you in. And when those doubts arise, and you're saying, oh, I've tried all these things and they don't work. Well, it's one thing to try things and another thing to know. So you can, in a sense, throw out all the things. Throw them all out. Just know. Knowing can actually be enough. That's why a video I did a little way back, it was maybe 3 videos ago, was about throw out the rule book. Just drop all that stuff. You can say, I don't even need it. I don't need all these hacks. It's just knowing. Just know it. It's not here knowing. It's in here knowing. You have to feel, it's a knowing in your gut. Just that confidence, just that sense of yes. Just that sense of yes. That's it. It's not a lot to need, but you do want to literally turn your back so that it can show up and be there for you when you turn around again. When you come back, you say, it's there for me. It's there for me. And I'm going to disregard the elements of time. In order for this to have a convergence in my life and show up at the moment that it's meant to show up. It is really that simple. And I can't overstress that because we all get lost. I've been there, that feeling of, oh, I'm so fed up. I can't wait anymore. When is that person going to come back? When am I going to get my SP back? Oh my God. Or, whatever else it is. I'm so tired of this. I'm stuck in this job. I've been imagining having this wonderful job. And we start checking the calendar, we start thinking, and as soon as we start thinking and it all goes up into here, we're lost because we're trying too hard. We overanalyze, overmentalize, overthink on it. Get out of that. To be fully yourself in your self-concept, if you will, and know you have it, that whole thing, that whole structure has to be different. And it's not like you're just putting on a Halloween costume here. This is what you really become You are shifting realities to that extent. It must be what you must become that. And in order for that, it's to relax and let go and just know and trust. And knowing and trusting, and it may be that we feel like, there's so many things that are out there in the virtual world that maybe they're scamming us, maybe they're trying to steal our identity. We don't know what it really is. So we become even more fearful. And we think this is going to scam us, that's going to scam us. No, it's that we're letting that idea hold us back. So we start really scamming ourselves. The ego starts scamming us by saying, you can't do this. You don't have it in you. You're not good enough for that. You're not worthy of it. You don't deserve it. And it's playing back all the stupid, shitty things that have, that have been laid on you over all these years and that you've laid on yourself. Doubting yourself. It's enough. You have to say, no, I can't doubt anything anymore. It's okay. And you can forgive yourself and get back into that position of saying, I got this. It's the only, this is it. I got this. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to see it, where I'm going to see it, when I'm going to see it, but I just know. So I've turned my back on anything that's trying to get me to notice it, because I'm not going to get pulled in by false Jesus situation, or believe that this is the thing that brings it to me, like it's the lucky charm or the whatever. We have these ideas. Oh, we say rabbit's foot or something, No, nothing like that. It is that simple. It's very, you might call it very Zen. It's right down, reduced down to the simplest denominator. It's just being you. God and I are one. So this is also, Neville Goddard also referred to that as the promise, the law and the promise, the law of assumption and the promise was the fulfillment. It's just that your desire is fulfilled in God, by God, as God. Recognizing that you are a form of God. God is seeing through your eyes and hearing through your ears and speaking through your voice. You are giving this to yourself. And a lot of times when we feel we've lost our way with it, the best thing we can do is become still. But because we're looking around all the time, it's really hard to do. It's hard for a lot of people to get quiet. People are uncomfortable with silence. That sound, something has to be on all the time. We're uncomfortable with that silence, but the silence is what you're made of. So if you're going to listen, you sit with that silence, because that's where your answers are going to come from. The guidance is going to come from silence. So if you can get quiet and feel that quiet, it will be amazing what you will hear, or where you will be prompted to go or prompted to do at a particular time, at a certain moment, and not even knowing that it's going to bring you to, particularly to that desire. And you'll see that it does. That it's trusting and knowing that that is what you have. So if this has resonated with you, if this has makes sense to you, if you feel it has supported you, helped you, give this video a like, comment, subscribe, get notified. Love you so much, Boo. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.